I remember the night I found the text. It wasn't supposed to be there, just a quick glance at Brandon's phone while he was in the shower. I know snooping isn't me. But something had shifted between us, and I needed to know if it was real or just in my head. "Brandon," I said later that night, voice tight as I held the phone behind my back. "Who's Sarah?" He froze. "What?" I swallowed hard. "That text. From Sarah. You didn't tell me you were meeting someone." He rubbed his neck, avoiding my eyes. "It's work. Just a colleague. Nothing to worry about." "Then why? Did she text you at 11 p.m. saying, 'Can't wait to see you again'?" His face went pale. "It means she's excited about the project presentation." "You're overthinking." I wanted to believe him. I really did. "I'm not overthinking. I feel like you're slipping away. You used to call me during the day, check in. Now you barely say a word." Brandon sighed. "Work's been stressful. I'm tired. It's not about you." "Not about me." I felt heat rising. "Then what is it about?" He shrugged, pulling the blanket tighter around him. "Just give me space. Space." The word echoed in my head long after he'd fallen asleep. 17 years of marriage, and suddenly I was a stranger sharing his bed. I paced the living, our room, clutching the phone. "Is this what we've become?" I whispered. Silent and distant. The girls were asleep, their laughter and chaos replaced by cold quiet. Haley's upcoming college applications, Julia's endless text messages. I was supposed to be their rock, but I felt like I was crumbling. Maybe I'm just imagining things, I told myself. Maybe I'm losing it. But then came the receipts, dinner out, hotel stays, expenses Brandon never mentioned. I found them tucked away in a drawer. "Brandon," I snapped one evening, holding the crumpled receipts like evidence in a courtroom. He looked up from his laptop, calm but unreadable. "I told you it's work-related." "Hotel stays, alone, for work." He closed the laptop slowly. "I don't owe you explanations every second, don't I? 17 years and you think I'm just supposed to trust blindly?" He stood, voice low. "You think I want to hurt you? I don't. But I can't deal with this accusing tone every day. Maybe I wouldn't have to accuse if you weren't hiding things." He shook his head and left the room, slamming the door behind him. I sank to the couch, heart pounding, mind racing. That night, I cried quietly, not wanting to wake the girls. Betrayal felt like a knife twisting in my chest. How had everything gone so wrong? I replayed our conversations, looking for signs I missed. Was I too busy? Too complacent? Was I not enough? The next morning, Brandon was distant but polite, the kind of quiet that felt heavier than anger. I tried to reach out. "Coffee after work?" I asked softly. He glanced up briefly. "Maybe. Please talk to me." He shook his head, voice tight. "There's nothing to say." I swallowed my pride and nodded, biting back the ache that spread inside. Days turned into weeks. Brandon buried himself in work. I buried myself in denial. Friends asked if everything was okay. I smiled, lied, said we were fine. But inside, I was unraveling. One night, Haley noticed. "Mum, are you okay?" I forced a smile. "Just tired, sweetie," she frowned. "You and Dad don't seem like you used to." I brushed it off, but I knew she was right. I sat alone on the porch, staring at the stars, wishing for answers, for the man I married, for the life I thought we had. "Why?" I whispered to the night. No answer came. I couldn't ignore it anymore. The texts, the late nights, the lies that didn't quite add up. I had to confront Brandon again. I wasn't sure if I wanted answers or just to see the truth in his eyes. "Brandon," I said one evening, trying to keep my voice steady, "we need to talk." He didn't look up from his phone. "About what?" "You know exactly what." I held up my phone, the messages from Sarah glaring back at him. "How long has this been going on?" He sighed, setting the phone down carefully, as if it might break. "Courtney, it's not what you think." "Not what I think?" "Then explain these." I tapped the screen. Texts about meetings, dinner dates, and things that sounded too intimate to be professional. He ran a hand through, his hair avoiding my gaze. Look, I messed up, but it's complicated. Complicated. I laughed bitterly. What's complicated about lying to me every day? About sneaking around behind my back? I didn't plan for it to go this far, he said quietly. It just happened. Just happened. My voice cracked. We've been married for 17 years. 17 years. How do you just happen to betray everything we built? He finally met my eyes, tired and distant. I'm sorry. I never wanted to hurt you. But you did. I felt a wave of anger rising, burning through the shock. You did, Brandon, and now everything's broken. For a moment, the room was silent except for my ragged breathing. Then he spoke, voice low. I don't know how to fix this. Neither do I. I shook my head, fighting tears. You're not the man I married. You're a stranger. He looked away, silent. Our home, once filled with laughter and warmth, felt cold and empty now. The weight of his betrayal hung in the air like a thick fog. Friends started noticing. At the grocery store, an awkward glance from Jessica, our neighbor. At Haley's soccer game, whispers behind my back. I heard about Brandon, they said, pity in their eyes. I wanted to scream, but I stayed quiet, ashamed and exposed. One afternoon, my sister called. Court, I'm worried about you. I'm fine, I lied. Just tired. Tired of pretending, she said gently. You don't have to carry this alone. I wanted to reach out, to confide in someone, but the shame was too heavy. I was supposed to be the strong one, the loyal wife. Now I was a broken woman, doubting everything. At night, sleep abandoned me. My mind replayed every moment, searching for signs I missed. Was it the way he stopped kissing me goodbye? The way he avoided my eyes? The sudden late nights at work? I caught myself stalking his phone, looking for proof, for answers. Each message from Sarah stabbed deeper. Why did you do this? I whispered one night, sitting alone in the dark. Brandon's voice echoed in my head. I'm sorry. But sorry didn't cut it. Haley knocked gently on my door. Mum, are you okay? I forced a smile. I'm fine, sweetie. Just a little tired. She sat beside me. Dad's been weird lately. I'm scared. I pulled her close. I'm scared too. The guilt was crushing. I wanted to protect my girls, keep their world whole. But how? When their father was breaking us all apart. Brandon and I tried to talk, but the conversations turned to arguments or silence. I can't do this anymore, he said once, voice cold. You're suffocating me. Suffocating you? I echoed, tears burning. I'm the one who's been betrayed. He shook his head. I never wanted it to hurt you like this. But it does. Every day. The distance grew. I'd find him staring blankly at the TV, unreachable. The warmth was gone, replaced by cold indifference. One night I confronted him again. Are you leaving? He looked at me, face unreadable. I don't know. Then what are you waiting for? Maybe for you to stop accusing me. I laughed bitterly. And maybe for you to stop lying. Days passed in a blur of anger and despair. I stopped answering calls from friends. Social media became a minefield of questions I didn't want to answer. At work, I barely focused. My boss asked if everything was okay. I forced a nod, hiding the turmoil. I kept asking myself, was I enough? Had I failed? The questions haunted me. One morning, Brandon left for work without a word. The silence in the house screamed louder than any argument. I stood by the window, watching him get into his car, wondering how we fell so far. That night, I cried until my pillow was soaked. I whispered into the darkness. What did I do wrong? No, answer came. I never thought I'd meet her face to face. Sarah. The woman who stole my husband's attention, who whispered behind my back when I thought we were alone. Yet there she was, standing in the hallway at Brandon's office party, smiling like she owned the place. "Courtney," she said, her voice smooth, almost rehearsed. "I've heard so much about you." I forced a smile, my heart pounding. "Really? I hope it's all good," she laughed a little too brightly. "Of course. Brandon talks about you all the time." I wanted to believe her, but the venom in those words burned like acid. "So, how long have you two known each other?" "Oh, work," she said, shrugging. "We collaborate a lot. You know how these projects go." "More than collaborating, it seems," I said, voice shaking. "The texts, the late nights. Do you think I'm stupid?" Her smile faltered. "Look, I'm not the bad guy here." "Then who is?" I asked, anger rising. "You? Him? Me?" She took a step closer, lowering her voice. "Brandon's complicated. You can't blame everything on me." I laughed, bitter and hollow. "I didn't think I had to blame anyone. You two did it all, on your own." Later, I found myself sitting in my best friend Emily's kitchen, trembling as I poured out the chaos inside me. "I don't know who I am anymore," I confessed. Was I not enough? Did he ever love me? Emily reached across, the table squeezing my hand. "Court, none of this is your fault. You're not the problem." "But it feels like it," I whispered. How could he look at me for 17 years and then turn away for her? She shook her head. "Love isn't always simple. Sometimes people are selfish, cowardly." "I want to hate her," I said, voice cracking. "But I also want to hate him. Mostly, I hate myself for letting this happen." Emily's eyes softened. "You're hurting, and that's okay. But you're stronger than you think." The nights grew darker. Alone in my room, I imagined their moments together, laughing, touching, secrets shared that should have been mine. Each thought a fresh wound. One evening, I dialed my therapist's number, my fingers trembling. "I can't sleep," I said when she answered. "I'm drowning in jealousy, in questions." "Tell me what's on your mind," she said calmly. "Was I never enough?" I choked. "Did he really love me, or was I just comfortable?" "People's hearts are complicated," she replied. "But you deserve honesty and respect." "I'm scared I'll never feel that again," I whispered. "That I'll be stuck in this nightmare forever." "You're not alone," she said softly. "We'll find a way through." The next day at work, I caught Brandon's glance across the room. He looked guilty. Or was it just my imagination? I wanted to scream at him, ask why he'd betrayed me, why he couldn't fight for us. Instead, I swallowed the lump in my throat and walked away. That night, I sat with my girls, trying to be the mother they needed. "Mom," Haley said quietly, "are you okay?" I smiled weakly. "I'm trying, sweetheart." Julia nodded, hugging me tight. "We love you." Their innocence was a balm, but also a reminder of what I was losing. Days later, Emily and I talked late into the night. "I want revenge," I admitted. "I want to make him feel this pain." Emily shook her head. "Revenge won't heal you. It'll just trap you in bitterness." "Then what?" I asked desperately. "How do I move past this?" "By finding yourself again," she said firmly. "By remembering who you are without him." I didn't believe her. But for the first time in weeks, a flicker of hope stirred inside me. Because I couldn't let this betrayal define me. Not yet. "Brandon, please," I said one night, voice trembling. "Can we just talk? Really talk?" He looked up from his phone, eyes cold. "What's there to say?" "Everything," I whispered. "I'm sorry, for the hurt, for the mistakes. Let's fix this." He shook his head, standing. "Fix? You don't fix this by saying sorry." "I'm trying," I pleaded. "I want us back. I miss us." He laughed bitterly. "Us? There is no us anymore. The words hit me like a slap. Don't say that. He looked away. It's the truth. Days later, I sat in the therapist's office, heart pounding. I don't know how to save my marriage. The therapist nodded gently. What do you want from Brandon? Forgiveness. A chance. Anything. Have you told him that? I've tried, I said, voice breaking. But he shuts me out. He's hurting too, she said softly. I know, I whispered. But sometimes it feels like he's already gone. Back, home, silence swallowed me. I called out, Brandon, no answer. I crept to the bedroom door. He was there, staring at the wall. Are you okay? I asked. He didn't respond. I reached for his hand. He pulled away sharply. Don't touch me, he said. I recoiled, tears burning. How did it come? To this? I asked the empty room. Work became my refuge and my curse. I buried myself in projects, emails, meetings, anything to escape the cold that waited at home. One afternoon, my colleague asked, Everything all right? I forced a smile. Just tired. But inside, chaos roared. At home, the girls sensed the tension. Mom, Dad won't even look at me anymore, Julia said quietly. I hugged her close. I know, honey. I'm trying. I tried again with Brandon. Can we have dinner together? Like we used to, he stared, expression unreadable. I don't think that's a good idea. Please, I begged. For the girls, if nothing else. He nodded reluctantly. For them. That night, silence stretched between us like a canyon. I broke it. Do you still love me? He didn't answer. Brandon. Love. His voice was hollow. I don't know what that means anymore. My chest tightened. What do we have left? He shrugged. Nothing worth saving. I felt my world collapse. Later, I found myself scrolling social media, thoughts darkening. Maybe divorce is the answer. A message popped up from Sarah's profile. My fingers trembled. I deleted it immediately. No, I whispered. I'm not her. But the doubt lingered. One night, after the girls slept, I confronted Brandon again. If we can't fix this, I want to know. I can't live like this. He looked at me for the first time in weeks. I'm done, he said quietly. I can't keep pretending. Pretending? I echoed, tears streaming. I'm here. I want to fight. He shook his head. I don't want to fight anymore. I want peace. Peace without me? He nodded. I felt empty, hollow. I tried to hold on, but he slipped further away. Then came the nights I spent awake, heart pounding, asking myself what I could have done differently. I'm sorry, I whispered to the darkness. I'm so sorry. The next morning, Brandon left for work without a word. I sat on the couch, numb. My phone buzzed. Emily calling. Courtney, talk to me. I'm scared, I confessed. I don't know what to do. Whatever you decide, I'm here. That afternoon, I drafted an email to Brandon's boss, considering exposing the affair. My fingers hovered over the keyboard. No, I thought. This isn't me. Instead, I called Emily. I want to save my family, I said. Then start with yourself, she said gently. I realized the battle was not just with Brandon, it was within me. Days blurred into nights. One evening, Brandon came home and said, We need to decide what's next. I looked at him, heart pounding. Do we try to heal or let go? He waited for my answer. I want to fight, I said firmly. He nodded, a flicker of hope in his eyes. But deep down, I wondered how long the fight would last before the breaking point became the end. Why are you ignoring me? I asked one morning, voice shaking as Brandon sat across from me, staring at his coffee like I wasn't there. He didn't look up. I'm not ignoring you. You're silent, I pressed. Every time I try to talk, you shut down. His jaw tightened. Maybe you should stop trying. I bit back the urge to yell. Why? So you can pretend nothing's wrong? He finally met my eyes, cold and distant. I'm not pretending. I'm protecting myself. From what? Me. He stood abruptly. From you. From me? I repeated, disbelief cutting deep. I'm the one left in the dark, wondering what I did wrong. He shook his head. You don't get it, do you? This isn't about blame anymore. But it feels like it's all my fault, I admitted. Voice breaking, he shrugged. Maybe you deserve it. The words hit me harder than any slap. Later that day, I found texts on his phone, not from Sarah this time, but messages twisting blame onto me, making me the villain in their story. I can't believe you, I whispered, fury and hurt swirling inside. That night, Brandon sat at the edge of the bed, silent as I paced. Say something, I demanded. He looked up, eyes empty. What's there to say? You're playing games, I accused, using guilt and silence to punish me. He laughed bitterly. You brought this on yourself. I shook my head, tears stinging. No, I made mistakes, but I'm not the enemy. He stood and walked, out without another word. Days passed in Cold War. I tried to keep calm. Please, Brandon, I said one evening. Let's just talk. He turned sharply. Talk? You don't know how to listen. I'm trying. No, you're trying. To control. His words cut like knives. I sat alone, questioning every choice. Had I pushed him too far? Was I the cause of this war? But then I remembered the secrets, the lies. I wasn't the only one hurting. The affair partner's shadow loomed, twisting truth. I couldn't let her control my life too. One afternoon, I told Emily, he's gaslighting me, turning me against myself. She nodded. You need boundaries. I don't know where to start. By saying no to his manipulation. The next night, Brandon refused to speak at dinner. I broke the silence. This has to stop. He shrugged. I'm done. Done. With us? He looked away. With this. I took a deep breath. Then maybe I should be done too. He stared at me, shocked. For the first time, I felt power, not from anger, but from self-respect. I'm not your puppet, I said quietly. He said, nothing. I realized I had to reclaim control of my emotions, my life. I started writing down everything. Conversations, texts, moments where I felt trapped, not for revenge, but for clarity. One night, Brandon tried to apologize. I'm sorry. If I hurt you, I shook my head. It's not about sorry anymore. It's about trust, and that's broken. He looked away. I felt a flicker of sadness, but also strength. I wasn't powerless. This silent war had awakened something inside me. I wouldn't let him, or anyone, define me. Courtney, you're not the woman I used to know, Emily said gently over coffee one afternoon. I stared at my cup, swirling the cream. I'm trying to find her again, she smiled. And you will. I see it already. I never thought I'd feel hope again, I admitted. Emily reached across the table, squeezing my hand. Hope is the first step. Therapy became my sanctuary. One session, my therapist asked, what do you want for yourself? I hesitated. To love myself. To stop waiting for Brandon to come back. That's powerful, she said. You deserve that. At home, I started small, reading, painting, walking in the park, hobbies I'd abandoned when marriage consumed me. One evening, Brandon walked in, surprised to find me laughing at a book. You're different, he said quietly. I looked up, meeting his gaze. I'm learning to be me again. He nodded, wary. I'm not your victim anymore, I told him. He frowned. Is this about the divorce you mentioned? I shook my head. It's about my life. I'm taking control. Brandon sighed. You think walking away is the answer? No, I said firmly. But I'm done being invisible. The girls noticed too. Mom, you seem happier. Julia said one morning. I smiled. I'm working on it. Can I paint with you? Of course, I replied, feeling warmth spread inside. At work, I set boundaries. No late nights, no endless emails. My boss noticed. You look energized, she said. Good for you. I felt proud. I was reclaiming myself. One night, Brandon tried to corner me. Courtney, can we talk? I crossed my arms. About what? Us. The past. I'm listening. He hesitated. I'm scared you're slipping away. I'm finding myself, I said gently. You're angry. Rightfully so. He looked down. I don't know how to fix this. Neither do I. But I know what I won't accept. And that is being treated like a stranger in my own home. He swallowed hard. I'm sorry. I nodded. Sorry won't rebuild trust. He reached out, but I stepped back. I need time. Take all you need. I felt tears prick, but held them back. Later, Emily called. How are you? Stronger, I said. Scared, but stronger. She laughed. That's progress. I realized courage isn't absence of fear. It's moving forward despite it. I looked in the mirror and barely recognized the woman staring back. She was fierce. She was me. And I was ready. Brandon, we need to talk, now. My voice was sharper than I intended, but I couldn't hold it back any longer. He looked up from his chair, eyebrows raised. What is it this time, Courtney? This isn't this time. It's all the times. The lies, the silence, the betrayal. I paced the room, hands trembling. I'm done pretending. He sighed, folding his arms. Done pretending what? Done pretending you didn't cheat. Done pretending this marriage isn't breaking apart. He shook his head. You're twisting things. No, I'm telling the truth. I stopped, eyes blazing. I found the texts, the receipts, your coldness. I know about Sarah. His face darkened. How much do you know? All of it. The meetings, the dinners, the lies. I spat the sea, words like venom. Do you even realize what you destroyed? He stood, voice low but intense. I didn't mean for it to happen. Well, it did. I stepped closer, voice breaking. Do you love her? Do you want to leave me for her? He hesitated, then said, It's not that simple. Nothing is ever simple with you. I shook my head, tears falling. You made your choice. He looked away, voice soft. I'm sorry. Sorry isn't enough. I wiped my face. Do you understand how much I suffered? The nights I cried, the mornings I begged. He nodded. I do. Then why? I whispered. Why betray me after everything? He looked at me with a mixture of guilt and frustration. I was lost. You were distant. I thought I could find something different. I laughed bitterly. Different? You destroyed us for different. He closed his eyes. I was selfish. I'm done forgiving selfishness, I said, voice firm. The room fell silent, thick with tension. Then I pulled out my phone. I spoke to Sarah today. His eyes widened. Why? To confront her. I showed him the messages. She didn't deny anything. He clenched his fists. She's a liar. Maybe, but she's part of this mess. And so are you. I took a deep breath. I want the truth. No more lies. He hesitated, then nodded. I'm done hiding. He confessed everything. How it started, the stolen moments, the guilt that gnawed at him, the confusion between love and desire. I listened, rage boiling inside, but also a strange sense of release. You never told me, I said quietly. Why? Because I was ashamed. Well, shame is deserved, I whispered. He looked at me, eyes pleading. Can we fix this? I shook my head. I don't know if I want to. He stepped closer. I still love you. I stepped back. Maybe you love the idea of us. He lowered his head. Maybe, I wiped my tears. I'm tired, Brandon. Tired of being broken. He reached out, but I turned away. The power had shifted. I was no longer the victim. I'm done, I said, voice steady. He nodded, tears glistening. I understand. That night, I called Emily. It's over, she smiled softly. You're free now. I finally felt it, a weight lifting, a future uncertain, but mine to choose. Did you hear? Jessica whispered when I ran into her. At the grocery store. Brandon got suspended. The office is buzzing. I nodded slowly, trying to keep my face neutral. Yeah, I heard. Heard it's because of the affair, she added. Must be tough, I repeated quietly. For everyone. Later, Brandon's phone stopped ringing. No more emails from work, no more meetings. One evening he said, they're reviewing my position. Do you regret it? I asked. He looked away. Every day. Good, I said softly. The humiliation wasn't mine alone. I watched as colleagues whispered, eyes darting when he passed. But I didn't feel triumphant, just tired. Emily sat with me one night. What do you want now? Peace, I said. Closure. Have you found it? Not yet. I sighed. But I'm getting there. I hired a lawyer, started sorting through papers. Divorce wasn't just a word anymore. It was real. Are you ready for this? Emily asked. I have to be. The day we signed the papers, Brandon was calm, almost detached. I'm sorry it came to this, he said. I smiled sadly. Me too. Afterwards, I walked through our empty house, memories flooding back. This was our life, I whispered. Julia called from her room. Mom, it's okay. We'll be fine. Her words anchored me. I called Emily. I'm scared of starting over. She laughed. Starting over is just the beginning. Months passed. I found new hobbies, made new friends, rebuilt myself. One day, I ran into Sarah. At a cafe? She looked surprised. Courtney, I smiled. Hello, Sarah. She hesitated. I'm sorry for everything. I nodded. Some things can't be undone. Walking away, I felt lighter. At night, I write in my journal. What I lost was painful, I wrote. But what I'm gaining is freedom. I'm not the same woman who begged for forgiveness. I'm stronger. And for the first time, I see hope. Emily called one afternoon. How are you really doing? I smiled, even though she couldn't see me. Better, stronger. Tell me. I took a deep breath. I'm building a new life, one that's mine. She laughed. I'm proud of you. I walked through my new apartment, sunlight pouring in. Feels different, I said aloud. Phone buzzed. A message from a new friend. Dinner Friday? No pressure, I typed back, heart fluttering. I'd like that. That night I stood in front of the mirror. Who are you now? I asked myself. The woman staring back was tired but fierce. I whispered, I'm free. Later, Julia visited. Mum, you look happy. I am, I said, hugging her tight. Haley called from college. Can't wait to see you. Me too, I smiled. At therapy, my counselor asked, what have you learned? That I deserve better, I said firmly. Better love, better life. Good, she said. One evening, I met a new man. We talked, laughed, shared stories. When he asked, what's your favorite thing about yourself? I paused. That I survived. He smiled warmly. That's beautiful. I felt a spark, not just of romance, but of hope. That night, I journaled. Pain taught me resilience. Betrayal showed me strength. Loss opened the door to new beginnings. I closed the book, heart full. I was ready. Ready to live, ready to love again, ready to be me.